defenses are not that
I'm
good.
just gonna go in the
Okay,
30s.
well,
How
wait.
about
Tell me how these defenses are not very. They're not the outstanding defenses we usually see in the NFC. So that's why I'm thinking,
but they're
why
just
can't this
not
game be
that.
high scoring?
What I'm saying is the Cowboys aren't just gonna give it to DeMarco Murray and give him
They're not,
four.
because they're gonna throw it to Dez too and Jason Wynn.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen in that game on
Well,
Sunday.
I'm just giving my own personal opinion here, Mr. Jeremy Snow.
Okay, Sunday, 1 o'clock on Fox. That game.
It'll be a fun and entertaining one. And I gotta, let's see what Dallas could do. I think Dallas is gonna get it done. And my prediction, as I said before, Dallas is going to the Super Bowl, but are gonna lose. But we're gonna keep on going on with the show here. We already covered that matchup. We're gonna cover our next NFC game, and I know, Jeremy, I know you love talking about this team so much.
And I think you'd agree with what I'm about to say about this game, right?
My friend wouldn't, but I would agree with you. See, I kind
Yeah.
of had to use that transition in there.
I feel like the Legion of Boom is going to be too much for Cam Newton. And here's what I think: their receivers the receivers that Newton has are just they're too young, and the Seahawks have so much firepower on that secondary. It's just going to be too much for the Panthers in this game. Now, the Panthers do have a really good defense, and I do not know why the Seahawks are favored by 10.5 points in this game. This game is going to be close because the Panthers defense is absolutely unbelievable. What they did to the Cardinals last week was crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I think that's believable. Because when you're going against Ryan Lindley, I think you're screwed. But I'm going to give my take on this game. They're first against the passing game. Let's be honest, people. Do the Panthers really have a passing game? Do they really have someone they can rely on? I mean, Greg Olsen.
Calvin Benjamin had over 1,000 yards this season.
And I know Greg Olsen too, but Jeremy, I'm worried because if those are the only two guys, that Legion of Boom's going to take you down.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, I'm just giving my take. Just give me a minute. Let me finish.
All right, keep going.
And this is something that's also going to concern me. Marshawn Lynch. I think the only guy for that Panthers defense is going to be Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
And Luke Kuechly leads the NFL in tackles.
Harper. Him and Mr. Lynch have a very big history.
And I'm going to love it.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. And that's going to be the entertaining part of this game. Because Luke Kuechly is going to try and get to Marshawn Lynch every time. And it's going to be funny, these two battle, because I really want to see Marshawn Lynch just win against this guy. But Luke Kuechly, you can't. I mean, this guy proved himself as the best linebacker in the game this season. The way the Panthers win this game, and Jeremy, you could agree with me on this, Luke Kuechly has to have a game, period. He has to get to the quarterback. He's got to make double-digit tackles. He's got to get 2 interceptions. I don't think that's going to happen.
Not only do they have to do that on the defensive end, but also Cam Newton's got to have a big game rushing.
Yeah, I remember that didn't go so well for the 49ers, though. I mean, I remember that because Colin Kaepernick had a big game running the football. Didn't really work. So, the matchup is just uneven. Very. It's going to be tough. I mean, Carolina, good. This is what I give to Carolina. Good luck, but you're going to get... I mean, if you can keep this game within 10 points, I'll give you credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Seahawks on this one.
Oh, I mean, obviously, when you're Jeremy Snell...
And we shouldn't spend that much time talking about my favorite team on this because I want to get back. I want to get over to the big games on the AFC side too soon. But
we have big games on the NFC side too. So are you saying that the AFC games are better than the NFC right now, Mr. Jeremy Snow? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to be. I think the Seahawks are obviously going to win this game. I don't know if it's going to be close or not because it only depends on what Panthers defense shows up. Is it the one that we saw last week, or is it the one that we saw with the 7-8-1 record during the regular season?
And I want to look at some of the stats from this season from the defensive side for the Seattle Seahawks. Let's name some guys: KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Byron Maxwell, Michael Bennett, Bruce Irvin, Malcolm Smith. You're done. That defense, jeez, it's scary.
I'll say the same.
It's like Halloween. It's like Halloween. It's like the Panthers are going to go on Halloween and be spooked out of their lives. Because that's how scary their defense is.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about for the Seahawks is the passing game. And hopefully Russell can figure out how to get some of the receivers involved in this game. Because, we lost some key receivers this year. We lost Golden Tate. We lost Percy Harvin. Sidney Rice retired before the season. Our receiving core is depleted, but hopefully we can get some good offense out of Baldwin and Wilson hooking up down the field. But I think Marshawn Lynch is not going to have that much trouble against the Panthers' run defense because they're mediocre this year. What they showed last week was them showing up for a home playoff game. And that's what you expect from a team, no matter what their record is.
Well, not the worst team to go into the playoffs with the worst team to go into the playoffs with the worst record is Seattle Seahawks. 7-9.
Yeah, but
they won against New Orleans.
The Panthers are a worse team than those Seahawks were.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But you know what I can agree with? I can agree that New England will beat Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore 4-4 on the road this season, and the Patriots were 7-1 at home. I don't see any troubles for New England this week, except maybe you can't say no to Mr. Joe Flacco over there. He had himself a season this year. And before the season started, I said Joe Flacco was going to have to carry this team. Besides him having to hand the ball off to Forsett 235 times this season, he has thrown for almost 4,000 yards.
But you know who's thrown for over 4,000 yards?
Oh, is that Tom Brady?
You got it right.
Tommy Brady.
And you know how many touchdown passes he has this season? He has over 30 for Mr. Tom Brady. And for this game, I mean, you have to obviously give it to Tom. You have to give it to Tom Brady and the Patriots. Tom Brady's already going to the Super Bowl. I mean, it looks like he's going to the Super Bowl, but Hall of Fame, he's in. The light is shining on Tom Brady to go into the Hall of Fame.
To the Super Bowl, but they're in the Dolphins division, so.
Whoa! Just because your Dolphins got a Week 1 win, they didn't make the playoffs. They were close.
All right, we don't want to talk.
They were a day late and $1 short.
Dolphins just hired the ex-GM of the New York Jets, Mike Tannenbaum, as their president of football operations. So
that's not relevant.
That's the way my week has been going so far, Robert.
That hasn't been relevant to the playoffs, though, has it?
No, I'm just telling you that's how my week is going. We just hired someone who brought in a hell of a lot of salary cap to the Jets, and they're still having problems with what he left them. So I really hope he doesn't do that to us.
Well, what I hope the Patriots do is put a whooping on the Baltimore Ravens. Because when you get LeGarrette Blount back on this team, you're looking solid. I mean, I'm glad they got LeGarrette Blount.
The Patriots have shown that it doesn't matter who you put at running back as long as you have Tom Brady, because Jonas Gray is their leading rusher for the season. 412
yards, not even over 500.
That's so ridiculous. I can't even, that's just crazy. I can't imagine having.
Is it crazy?
A good quarterback.
Is it crazy to say that Gronk has been healthy for a full season? Whoa, mind blown. He was. 12 touchdowns.
He is not human, that guy.
He's not human. He's like the Hulk. It's like the Hulk of the NFL. He's had 130 targets this season, caught 82 passes for over 1,124 yards and 12 touchdowns. Julian Edelman, 135 targets this season, 92 catches for only 972 yards.
Oh, so close to 1,000, Mr. Edelman.
So close. But, when you have Gronkowski, you're going to try and give him the football as much as you can because he could push for those first downs. And I have to give credit where credit is due because Gronk, I didn't expect this guy to be healthy at all. I thought he got injured, in the middle of the season. But what New England do is they limited his snaps, and I love that part about it because you already had Edelman, Brandon LaFell, and you had the Tim Wright, 6 touchdowns this season. He's your end zone type of guy. So I just want to see if the Patriots could win it this year. It'd be awesome to see. I think I do. This defense has looked good. I don't know if it's going to be ready against the NFC. It just depends who makes it. Because either way, if you go against the Packers or the Seahawks...
Hey, you're getting ahead of yourself here, Robert.
I am getting a little ahead of myself. But I am saying, if they go against an NFC team, and if it's against Seattle, I think they would be a very good Super Bowl. But, let's argue for Baltimore. Baltimore not looking too bad. They got the win over Pittsburgh without Le'Veon Bell. Let's just remember that part of it. But Ben Roethlisberger really had to be the guy they had to rely on, and he couldn't really do that much. But I'm liking what they're getting out of C.J. Mosley on that defense. And who would have thought Justin Forsett would be their leading rusher? Everyone thought it was going to be Bernard Pierce. Justin Forsett gets the job, over 1,200 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns this season.
Fantasy team savior right there.
I know, and Justin Forsett, I didn't think he was going to have that great numbers. Signing Steve Smith Jr. was one of the smartest signings the Ravens could have made this season, leading in passing yards and 6 touchdowns this season, but Torrey Smith with 11, but it doesn't matter because over 1,000 yards receiving. Holy cow. You gotta be kidding me. Steve Smith. The Panthers letting him go was probably a huge mistake, but the biggest signing and huge for them to make the playoffs for the Ravens was Steve Smith.
Obviously, I think the Patriots are going to win this game. I really don't like saying that, but I just think they have too much going for them, and the Ravens don't. I think this game is going to be a boring one, but I do think the other game that we have on the plate has a lot of juicy storylines, though.
I love the juicy storylines, but we still got to stick with this game. We still got to pick our winners.
I think the Patriots, like I said.
Like you said, but I just said the Patriots as well. So
we're done.
We have only disagreed on one game, Mr. Jeremy Schnell.
I think we're going to disagree on this one.
I don't know yet, but the juicy headline. When Jim Irsay gave up Mr. Peyton Manning, let him go in free agency, signed with the Denver Broncos, they drafted Andrew Luck from Stanford University, which is only 15 minutes away from my house, just letting you know. So if you ever want to come visit and you're near Stanford University, hit me up. But besides that, this is probably a huge storyline, no doubt about it. This is for all the marbles, and both of these teams have a lot on the line. Mr. Snell.
Yeah.
Let's get your take. Let's get your take on the Colts.
All 8 of these teams have a lot on the line, Robert. Don't get me wrong about that. But you look at Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning's follow-up, or whatever you want to call it. The life after Manning in Indianapolis is Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck, he's a nice kid. He's a great kid, but he's also a great ball player. And he has T.Y. Hilton having himself a year. He's had himself a newborn baby. Congratulations to him. Trent Richardson not having too great of a season, but he has to since